All right, I hear you. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a quick tutorial on how to block by block build the redstone animated flag for those of you that are in Java and in Bedrock. I know, very exciting. First things first, let's take a quick look at the goodies that we'll need. So here is everything in the chest up at the top, at least for the small flag that I have that we'll be showcasing today. And then I have the same thing replicated down here, organized for building purposes. If you decide that you want to flag a different color, or you're going to want the post to be a lot taller, or you're going to need to do some more redstone work, you're obviously going to need to collect those resources as well. This is just for exactly what you see on screen right here. The very first thing that we're going to do is decide where it is that we want the post of our flag that's going to be going up to be. And that's where this wool here is going to be. I've decided that this spot is where I want the post to go up into the sky. So we're going to start by dropping a redstone repeater right there, adding 2 redstone dust behind it, another redstone repeater here, but this one we're going to extend to 4 ticks, a comparator, a redstone dust here, our target block. We're going to drop a redstone dust just so that we can see everything working, and a lever. So this is what our clock is going to be. But the important part is to hit your comparator 1 time just to make sure that it's in, I think it's called subtraction mode. And that way, there's your clock. Let's go ahead and turn that off as we work on the rest of the build. The next thing to do is to start working on your observer tower. So I'm going to go ahead and place 2 observers there. And then I'm going to go up another 10, so it'll be 12 observers total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're going to add 1 observer facing away where I want the flag to go. Now you can make your flag go any direction that you want to, but for our purposes, we're going to do the same as this flag is pointing in this direction. Pretty simple. Grab any fill block that you want. I'm going to use this target block for now. And we're going to run sticky pistons out along this direction, all facing down. And we're going to go out 7 sticky pistons. But if you want to make your flag bigger, you most certainly can. Now that you have those 7, we're going to get rid of the fill block and we're going to run single tick repeaters all the way out, but skip the very last one because that's not necessary. Underneath the sticky pistons, every other one, you're going to add a slime block. And then between them, you're going to add your honey blocks. So they're all nice and sticky. At this point, your redstone is basically done. And so now it's up to decorating. I'm going to decorate a red flag just like this one, but you can decorate it any way you want. Starting up here, we're going to add 2 wool this direction. And then we're going to come across and we're going to add upside down staircases all the way out to the very end. On the very end, we're going to add another staircase and we're going to repeat it back the other direction as well, including the 2 wool on this side. Underneath the wool, we're going to start with a stair facing this direction. We're going to go a solid block, stair, your 3 slabs, a stair facing this direction and a stair the other direction, just to add a little bit of extra flexibility in the flag as it's rippling. Underneath here, we're going to add 1 more staircase. We're going to make sure that we add the stair on this side as well, so it's mirrored on both sides. Above it, we're going to come in and add our concrete powder across the whole thing on both sides, because this is the powder that's going to be floating up and down, adding in a lot of animation. We're going to add a piece of wool here. And then we're going to run concrete powder all the way out to almost the very end, skipping the last one there, and then run it back this direction as well with another piece of wool. Now up here, you're going to add your other piece of mangrove plank, and then your stairs on all of these sides, as well as 1 across the top. At this point, our flag is looking really good, but the pole is a bit lacking. So let's go ahead and decorate it up. We're going to start by taking our spruce trapdoors and running them up all sides of the observers. Now at the top, we're going to add 2 stripped spruce wood, as well as 2 mud brick walls, 2 spruce fences, and a lightning rod, which I like to go up twice, just so that I can flip it upside down and get a nice little point just like that. And at this point, your flag is done. All you got to do is come down here, flip the switch, and you should see your flag animate in a beautiful way. Now keep in mind, this is only the 3-wide flag, not the 4-wide flag that I showcased in my castle video, but in most cases, this is gonna be perfectly fine because especially if you're looking at it from down below, you really don't actually see that gap anyway. It's only if you're looking at the gap straight on that you're going to see it just a little bit, but really, it's not that bad. And the further away that you build it, the better those ripples look, and man, that is just so cool. Even though I've seen it so many times, it's still awesome to watch. And that's how you make the flag in Java. I would love it for you to play around with the designs and make something super unique and colorful for your world in particular, and tag me in it. I'd love to see it. Let's switch over to Bedrock. Welcome to Bedrock, where I have lost my skin, and when I blink, it blinks for way too long, which is just a little bit too creepy because we don't have that in Java, and in Bedrock, I am never gonna get used to it. But what I've done is gone ahead and set up our clock, which will be exactly the same as it is in Java, set up the same way here. Make sure to go ahead and switch that comparator over to the other mode, and then I've started to send our observers up, and we're gonna go up again that same 12 times, so that's 1, and then we're gonna continue to go up another 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But this time we're gonna do things a slight bit different. Once you have your height, we're gonna go ahead and add 2 wool with 2 redstone on top of that. Now from here, we're gonna be using a lot more red glazed terracotta or just some type of immovable block, but because we're making a red flag, this is gonna be what we're gonna use. And we're gonna go 2 across the wool and then 2 down as well, though we're gonna make some more modifications here in a little bit. The next thing we wanna do is place a terracotta here, and then you're gonna place one, but skip that one, and then do the same thing. We're gonna zigzag out by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then between each of those, we're gonna go ahead and place our sticky pistons upside down like this. On top, starting here, we're gonna have 2 redstone repeaters, both set to 4 tick. We're gonna set the first repeater on this terracotta to 1, and then all of the rest of these terracotta, we're gonna cover with 2 tick repeaters all the way down, and then fill the whole thing in with redstone. So it'll look something like that. Now, what you may be starting to realize is that this is going to be a 2-wide flag when it comes to the slime and honey, which means it'll be a 4-wide flag in total. Sorry, Bedrock users, that just is the way that it is. At the bottom, we're gonna go ahead and do our slime every other block all the way down, and then come back in and fill it in with honey. On the side, we're gonna add our red wool across all of the edges. And then we're gonna add our 2 concrete powder above each of these, all the way down, except for the last one where we'll only add 1. And then same thing the other direction as well. All right, it's time to decorate it just a little bit. So let's go ahead and come up here and add a wool at the top, and then a wool underneath here, leaving a space for 1 red concrete powder. And then similar to Java, we're gonna place a mangrove underneath here, facing that direction, facing towards the post, what we're gonna do for our post there, and then 1 facing this direction as well. And that way we're getting our shape of the flag connected to the pole. And then we're gonna fill in this spot here that we did miss earlier with a glazed terracotta, and do the same thing, wool, concrete powder, wool. And that way we kind of fill out a nice little area right there. As for the pole, I'm gonna do the same thing, but a little bit different because this is a 2-wide. We're gonna put our stripped spruce logs all the way up, straight like this. And then we're going to come along the back, and we're gonna add all of our trapdoors to both sides. All right, now that we have our spruce trapdoors in, we're gonna come around the base with the spruce stairs around like this. And then we're gonna come around the top of the same spruce stairs, just facing back in. That way we can hide all of this redstone. We're gonna drop some planks on the top there, and we're going to then come up by maybe 2 mud bricks, and then spruce fences across together. And then I'm just gonna take 1 spruce fence up by 2 more, followed by a lightning rod that's gonna be facing as a point once again. And so that's the flagpole. Now we can go ahead and turn it on, see how it looks. Not too bad. Now, it's really unfortunate you can't put anything underneath because the way that the honey and slime blocks work on bedrock means they're going to stick to the ones next to them, and that's just not going to work for us. However, one of the things we can do is change the colors of the flag. So let me see if I can play around and make something that looks a little bit better using the yellow and the green. All right, so as you can see, I swapped out our red for a bunch of kind of orange and green blocks. Again, still utilizing the wool and the concrete to give us kind of our different shades. It kind of made a striped green and yellow banner, which I think still looks pretty cool from a distance. I definitely don't have a problem with that. So unfortunately, I think this is about the best that you're going to get from Bedrock, especially the way things work in Redstone, unless somebody comes up with something much better. And from a distance, especially depending on how far your simulation distance is, it can look a little broken. Again, it depends on where it is that you're placing this, because if this is up on top of a very tall tower, then you're probably not going to be looking at it as directly as we are here. And so from a distance and in the corner, that still might provide you the movement that you're looking for. So anyway, just play around with it and let me know what you think about it. And if you're able to come up with an even better design, especially something that's able to fill in the bottom, I think would be really cool. If this video helped you build an awesome flag in your world, maybe leave a like or drop a comment of thanks, and I'll see you all in our next adventure, builders. Have a great one. Bye.